I heard someone say once, when we don't have words, we have ceremony or we have ritual, and that looks different for different families. So our philosophy is very much to serve a family very, very well. Hey, you must be Michael.
Yes, I am. You must be James.
Yes, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Hear lots of great things about you. Hard-working guy.
Yeah.
Hard-working, entrepreneurial, kind of hands-on kind of guy.
Yes, sir.
The thing with cremation is most people are cremated. That's not even like someone's guess. That's just hard realities. I've had over the years many people say, well, my cousin's a woodworker. Can we make one? And my answer is always, of course you can. Of course, that sounds very intimate and personal. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Gallagher Custom Wood Products. I'm going to show you the process here and how I'm going to build an urn for life transitions over in Chatham there. If you want to come over here to my mill, I'll show you where the process starts. So this is where the whole process starts, right here on my Woodland Mill sawmill. Basically, I'm going to cut some slabs here today and then put it through the drying process and make a nice urn for life transitions.
So you have a mill. You have like a wood mill.
I have my own sawmill, yeah.
So it's like, when I'm thinking sawmill, I'm thinking like guys with logs and the logs are coming down the river. Yeah. Like you don't have one of those, right?
It's close, I suppose. But yes, I take the tree basically right from the ground. So how long have you had this company for now? I've just noticed you recently in this plaza.
Yeah. Well, we're about 3 years old, so we're in the grand scheme of funeral universe. We're brand new. I've been doing this about 18 years as a funeral director, but okay. I had a chance about 3 years ago to strike out on our own and kind of carve a whole new path kind of thing that wasn't available in the area here.
There she be. It's probably the most beautiful wood that you're gonna get in Ontario. Beautiful grain, nice color, nice hardwood. And it's one of the most expensive woods to purchase right now, I believe. So the first step is gonna be chopping it up.
The buy local kind of ethic,
yes.
That's near and dear to us for sure. We do anything we can possibly do local. Like people love that idea. I could say, you know, this urn right here is not local. This is from India. Like most metal urns come from India. I don't know why that is, but to say to have another urn in my hand and say this is built locally, local artisan, local craftsman, you know, that's got a high value in my world anyway.
I want to check for any really bad defects and try and avoid those, because if I can find a clear section of as much lumber as possible, it'll make the piece look way better in the end. It's going to be a basic 4-sided box. That's what I've accounted for with this piece of wood, but I'm going to use this piece for the hopefully for the tops and bottoms, because it has some really nice grain to it. Now that I have it cut to size, I need to clean up this edge here that's still rough from the sawmill. Now this edge is square. I'm just going to throw it on my table saw quick and trim off the bark. Get it close to final width dimensions.
A person comes back in one of these, which is not wood or metal, purely practical. It's got to be, remains have to be in something. So some people will say, oh, that's good, see you later, and then out they go. Where someone else will say, you know what, no, we want a keepsake that we're gonna put on a shelf, or we're having a memorial service and we're not gonna look at this at the front of the church, or something like that. Or even the burial, people say, we're going to gather and we want something that's, you know, that's us. So as you've looked around at urn ideas and you being the wood expert, what are your thoughts? What have you been thinking about?
I have some wood that was donated to me.
Okay.
and I want to take it from my mill and I want to go right to the finished project through my wood shop of, I want to mill it, I want to dry it, I want to use all my tools to create it, and then hopefully have a nice hand finished urn for you by the end of it. I'm just checking the average width of where the sapwood is here. That way I can kind of cut all that white sapwood out of it and have just the nice dark walnut when we're done. You can see there, the nice brown color carries through to the edge now. I'm sure you've noticed that my table saw doesn't have any guards at the moment. That's only due to what we're doing today. Normally I would have a riving knife in here, which keeps the wood separated after the blade so you don't pinch the blade. And then I would have some kickback fingers to make sure nothing flies back at me. But we're gonna be doing a cut on the saw that requires no guards. You have to have everything off it in order to finish the operation. I'm sure you also noticed that I wasn't wearing my safety glasses for that cut. Okay, so now I have my piece rough cut to 5 inches. And if you look down the board, there's a little bit of a wobble to it. I need to put it on my jointer again and joint the face of this board.
Yeah, I'm excited to sort of see the process and see what you come up with.
Now, another question I had for you was capacity. Is there's a minimum capacity of what you would normally want for a standard urn? Yeah, it seems to be, you know, almost fitting with this, very practical. 99% of all human beings' remains will fit inside here. So you notice this is a similar kind of size. So it seems to be the general consensus is 200 cubic inches inside volume. So we got it pretty close. I think the rest of it is flat enough that I can do the next machining, which is going to be slicing this in half on the table saw. Now it's a pretty risky operation, but we should be able to do it no problem.
It'll be great to sort of watch the progress happen. You know, all your creativity come together and watch you have fun with it too. Here's our wood product here. Okay. It's you see, they're all the rage these days. Yeah. A friend of ours makes those, and we thought, hey, we should get one of those barn board signs made.
Another local make?
Yeah, oh, totally, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's another part of the project. I hope I can put my own sweat into this project and make it meaningful for somebody.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, it was great. Yeah, it was great meeting you.
Great to meet you as well.
All right, you take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
See ya.
As you can see there, the board is still attached, but only by a really tiny piece of wood. I do that way when I get to this point in cutting, it doesn't want to fall off on me or get stuck in the blade. That way it's still attached as one board. You can usually just break it off after. So now I'm going to go back to the jointer with this and flatten it again to make sure it's exactly where I want it. So now that I have this face flat as a reference face, if this face is a little at a square, I'm going to put it through my planer to make sure it's parallel with this face. I've been working, I went to college for 4 years, 2 for forestry and 2 for woodworking. And then right out of college, I started working for a local cabinet shop. And I've been with them for just under 2 years. And before I started working there, I was actually looking to start my own company. I've always planned on doing that. But it was just a good opportunity to get some money and kind of take my time, making sure I get the right things that I need for the shop. So it's really just been looking online, finding the best deals, and slowly getting what I need to start my own shop, and I'm at that point now. Now that I have two parallel faces, I just have to square at my edges again on the jointer to make sure all four faces are 90 to each other. So in my design, I've incorporated a lid that will be captured by all four sides. And in order to get the lid in there the way I want to, I have to machine a groove, a small dado down the edge of my board that my lid will slide into. Okay, so this groove is about the width I want now for my top to slide in. Now the next step is going to be to rabbet out a bottom groove. As you can see there, rather than the top where I just cut a dado groove, this is called a rabbet, where you take out the whole edge. So when the box is done, this will actually be the top, and then this will be the bottom. So that way when you want to access it, you have to flip it over, and it'll have a bottom that will sit right in there, and it'll be screwed into place. My next step is going to be putting a nice curved edge on the box. There are many methods of doing this, but this is the easiest for a small shop. It's a little unorthodox. Some people wouldn't suggest using your table saw this way, but as long as you're patient with it and you take your time, there's no reason why it shouldn't work. So now what I've done here is set up I've jointed these two pieces of wood so they're nice straight edges, and I've captured my part to slide snugly in between them. The thing about doing it this way is you have to really take your time making your passes, because you don't want to raise your blade more than a 1/16 of an inch at a time. If you do any more than that, then you risk taking off too much material, causing deflection in your blade, and bad things can happen. What I try to do is keep the waste minimal between my parts. That way when the box is assembled, the grain almost wraps around the project. It's doing things like that that make a project really worthwhile. All right, so I have the box all glued up here. I've squared off all my edges to make sure they're nice and smooth. Now, as far as a miter goes with the box, it's not that strong of a joint. As you can see there, that's what I'm going for. I have a slight 10-degree angle on it to give it a more decorative effect. So once I have all my cuts done, I'm going to do 4 on each corner, and then I'm going to fill it with a walnut spline made from the same log. So what I've done is I've milled it down so it's a super snug fit. That way, with a little bit of glue, that joint will be stronger than any other joint. I didn't really get into woodworking until high school. I went to John McGregor, and my teacher there was Mr. Van Kesteren, and he had a real passion for it, and I think that kind of grew on me. The biggest lesson I've learned so far is that starting a business is never what you think it is, and to not do everything at once. I was super ambitious when I started doing this, and I started seeking out loans and investing in tools, and some that I didn't necessarily need right away, and I should have known to be more patient and take my time with it. Well, I think my business and life transitions are very similar in the way that we're kind of trying to do the best thing for the people that we're serving. I want to give them the best value for what they're looking for. Well, I have the splines in, so now all I have to do is let it dry. I'll cut them off flush with the side of the box. I'll sand my profile that I made on the table saw because it's still pretty rough. And then we'll apply a nice finish to it, and then bring it to Life Transitions, and hopefully they like it. Hello.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, James. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
This is exciting. You've been busy.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking this morning, how did he do it? How did he, not being a woodworker, I'm thinking, I know that you've got incredible skills here.
Well, I try to keep it, like I said, generic, but some detail in there.
Okay, so I'm excited. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. Wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so that wood is actually wood that I milled myself. I actually chopped the tree down for that one.
Really? Look at this. What would you call that? Joinery?
Those are splines in there to strengthen that joint.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, that is gorgeous. That is really, really great. Feels. It's like silk. It's like silk. It's like a high-end casket, but it's an urn. That's yeah, enter from the bottom and all the little felt feet. That is wow. So what kind of wood is this?
It's walnut.
Walnut.
It's black walnut, yeah.
Wow.
Local from Chatham.
Local black walnut. Wow, Michael, that is excellent. Your first urn.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you like it.
Success. Absolutely. So I see we get in from the bottom here, but what is this thing here?
It's actually a magnet. The way I inlaid the bottom to make it seamless, it was really hard to remove the bottom when it was upside down. So
right.
I put a little magnet in there that way.
Right.
When you want to take the bottom out, you just pop it out.
Well, so you've learned that along the way, yeah, because these are very difficult to get out. If you,
Exactly.
yeah, that's brilliant. So it's inlaid in there, a magnet.
Yeah.
What a nice, smart little hidden addition there. Classy, classy. So what's your plan now? You would like us to display this, or?
As my first urn, I'd be happy if I could donate it to your company as a display piece, or if you would like to, you could donate it to a family that needs it.
Wow. Well, that's really kind. With being local walnut, and we do deal with the odd family that's could just use a hand. That's very, very kind of you.
Well,
very kind.
I'm happy to help any way I can.
Wow. Wow. That's fantastic.